Hey everybody, I'm Sean.
And I'm Steph.
And we right here are Rampant Design. Welcome to episode number 10 of
Woo!
Running Rampant.
10!
A little show that takes you behind the scenes of Rampant Design, talks a little tiny bit about what it's like to run a small business, and then of course we open ourselves up to questions from you, our wonderful friends on the internet.
Yes, on today's episode we're talking about misogyny, partnerships, and staying the course.
So yeah, it's a hard-hitting episode this week, huh?
It is.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's all based on truth and reality, so it's things we need to talk about.
Yeah,
right?
things we face daily.
Yeah, sadly daily. You think this would be something that's happening less and less, but it's not. So let's start off with misogyny. I'm going to start off with this because I want to talk to you about how much it hurts me to see the person that means the most to me get treated this way. And then I'd like you, of course, to take over.
Okay.
This is based, the misogyny topic is a big topic in our industry. In video production, it seems for whatever reason that women are pushed way, way down. Not entirely sure why. All my favorite artists and editors are women. Most of my mentors are women. And I think women make better editors. I know that's probably going to make people upset. Compared to my work and my experience in life, I have a harder time multitasking. Doesn't mean that there's no dudes out there who can't multitask. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that while I'm sitting there clicking away looking at my workflow, I look over next to me and it's like, brrrah, brrrah. Oh, what are you doing? Brrrah. Talking on the phone, still editing, whatever. Just destroying me. So, but yeah, my favorite Inferno artist is a woman. My favorite editor is a woman. So what's the big freaking deal? So anyway, on a more personal level, I'm pretty much fed up and ready to roll into meetings with a baseball bat when I hear things like, oh, how cute, you brought your wife, or I guess you can bring Stephanie if you want to, or oh, well, if I had known, I would have brought my wife. I am married to Stephanie. This is a fact. It has nothing to do with our business. I'm Sean, the CEO and lead designer of Rampant, and this is Stephanie, the CFO of Rampant. It has nothing to do with our relationship. Getting really tired of people boiling us down to that. Saying that you can bring Steph if you want to is the most ridiculous thing on the planet. She is the CFO. She makes all of the financial decisions, every single one of the financial decisions. I ask for money. She says no. That's how this works. She's 100% in charge of the money. Her and if there's ever a decision that she needs to seek counsel on, she talks to our accountant. I have nothing to do with the money. I'm creative. I spend the money. So that's why I have nothing to do with the money. If it were up to me, I'd have 50 Reds and Mac 12 cores everywhere and freaking storage coming out the wazoo, and we'd have a massive studio. The reason we're still in business is because of her. So saying you can bring Stephanie is the most ridiculous thing. Of course I'm going to bring Stephanie. She's more important to the meeting than I am. So getting real tired of that. Real tired of that. And usually, what would you say? It's usually the old guard. It's not really anybody our age or younger. It's usually the older generation who's just like calling you pumpkin and sweetheart and princess. And God, it's driving me crazy.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, you're being very kind. Off the record, she's all beep, beep, that beep, mother beep, son of a beep, Well, perfect example. Let's talk about what happens when someone calls you on the phone.
So, and it's not, it isn't as much as it was when we first started, but
it's still bad enough that we're talking about it.
It still happens, and that probably is bad in itself. But when someone calls me up and I answer the phone and I say, thank you for calling Rampant. This is Stephanie. Can I help you? How can I help you? And they're like, can I talk to someone in tech support? Not a problem. That's fine. Because
you assume the person answering the phone is just doing the phone, right?
Right. It's just a
okay.
Receptionist or just answering the phone.
But from here forward, it's not okay.
So when I say yes, I'd be happy to help you with whatever question you have. There's usually a pause, and then it's, well, can I talk to someone who understands what I'm doing? I'm like, yes. As I said, I can answer any questions that you have. Oh yeah, I understand, but I need to talk to somebody in tech support. Again, that's me. I can probably answer whatever question you have. And so we never actually get to the question for like the first 5 minutes of our conversation because it's them being nasty and saying because I'm a woman, I don't know what I'm talking about in a technology field. It's very frustrating when I'm on the phone And hearing that, and I'm like, please just ask your question. And usually it's not even that hard or difficult technical question. That's the part that always amazes me. There are times where I don't know something and I'll have to ask Sean, and that's fine. And those kind of questions are fine. But when you ask me something that's relatively simple and you're making this big deal because on the other end you hear a woman's voice, that's just not right. So it is frustrating.
And she's being nice. There's been times where we've done this dance, and she says, look, I'm the one who answers the tech support. When you email, when you call, it's me. We're a small company, it's just the two of us. So then they go, well, then I'm going to try to stump you.
Yeah, that's always fun.
So what is really happening here? Are you that threatened in your craft that a woman might actually know something you know, or even more than you know, that you're going to put her on the spot? Well, guess what? To date, no one has trumped her. No one has stumped her. So sorry about your luck. Also, when you treat anybody that I work with, especially Stephanie, or you treat any woman like that, and then you ask to talk to me, the answer is a resounding no. So if you call and you do that nonsense and you're like, well, I still want to talk to Sean, I'm mysteriously out of the building. Sorry about your luck.
Plus, you don't want to talk to him after that.
Yeah, because off the record, you're going to get an earful. So.
Yeah, you're not going to want to talk to Sean after that one. So.
No. So there's a lot of things I will never tolerate. I will never tolerate misogyny. I will never tolerate racism. I don't care about your political beliefs. You can do whatever you want. I just don't care. Just don't put any of that nonsense on us. If you call us, we're always happy to help anybody as long as you're respectful. The second you start dishing out hate for whatever reason, the call is done. So it's 2016. We don't save lives here. We make video. We're all very, very lucky to do what we do. It beats digging ditches. Let's all just enjoy our craft and just enjoy knowledge. You get knowledge from everybody. Every person you meet will actually end up influencing you in one way or another. So instead of... She's Final Cut Steph, for crying out loud. It's not just a cutesy little name. She makes all the plugins. So instead of automatically assuming that this girl doesn't know anything she's talking about, maybe just talk to her. You'd be surprised. So...
yeah, and for all the ladies out there, it's tough. Keep going.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, don't ever stop. Don't let some dude stop you. No,
it isn't. It's not worth it.
No.
There are some amazing. We've met some amazing women in this industry,
come on.
Everybody has very similar stories, and that's really sad. It needs to change, and it needs to change with you. It does. You can't have thoughts like that. You can't think like that. You can't think that a woman can't do what you can do.
And if you want to think that way, that's great. Just retire already. Make room for the new people coming up, because ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
So this might fuel some hateful comments or whatever. It's not about you. That's the problem. If a woman answers the phone, it has nothing to do with you. It's just another human being answering the phone. Don't be so, don't be so worried and so I don't even know. I can't fathom what the actual problem is. If you call and you talk to a woman and you're so upset that you're talking to a woman, what we got? What next? Women doctors? I mean, I don't really know what your problem is, but the problem's all you. So, like I said, we will help anybody with anything. We've stayed up to 3 o'clock in the morning helping people with projects that have absolutely nothing to do with Rampant. It just happens all the time. People need help. People have helped me. It's only right that I return that help to somebody else. I pay it forward. Same with Stephanie. But keep that nonsense about, women need to be barefoot and pregnant and in the kitchen. Keep all that nonsense to yourself. That's just ridiculous. The fact is that we've just recently come through multiple meetings where this has happened. We saw a lot of it at NAB. When we were running booths at NAB, oh boy, so many people would be like, oh, hey, sweetheart, when is your boss going to come around? Sweetheart, princess, what is it? Buttercup, all these little demeaning comments. Some people are like, well, that's just a cultural thing. No, it's not. You're perpetuating that. Don't do that nonsense. That's putting someone down. Because if I turned around and a dude came up to my booth and I said, hey, sweetheart, hey, princess, those are fighting words. So if they're insulting to you as a man, why would they not be insulting to someone as a woman? Come on. Think about it. It's just ridiculous. Plus that, you just don't want to be insulting her in front of me, because by the time she's done with you, then I just have to take out the trash. So that's that. We're keeping it relatively light.
All right, let's move on.
Yes. Partnerships. Another sore subject for small business. This is really for small business owners. Be careful.
Be very careful.
If you ever watch Shark Tank, they like to see people who have been screwed over. They say it makes you tougher, it makes you wiser, it makes you stronger. If you've been screwed over and you get up the next day and move forward, then you'll be a better business person. We have been screwed over royally, both by people who have partnered with us and by people who have lied and said they've partnered with us. We've actually had a company steal from us, take all of our products, sell them as their own, and then instead of just getting caught stealing, they told a big news source, "Oh no, Rampant, let us sell these. We're in a partnership." And that news source posted this without ever once contacting us. Do your freaking research, people. One phone call, one email. No, we did not partner with you. It's ridiculous. So
just know that when you're in a partnership, trust your gut.
Yes.
That is, we've learned that so
sleep
hard.
On it. Sleep on it, and sleep on it, and sleep on it.
And trust your gut, because your gut knows. You know deep down. Don't take promises that people say, I'll promise you this, this, and this. They're in the clouds. It doesn't exist. You need to look at facts and look at what it will do for you, because you better believe that your partner isn't it for them, not for you. So that's also what we've learned. They're looking to better themselves, not to better you.
Yeah, if they can stand up on your shoulders and get to where they want to go, they will. And they'll say, and there's some people who are very persuasive. There are some charismatic people who absolutely know what they're doing. They're narcissists, they're fools, they're liars. But they're so good at it that you fall for it. And I'm sorry, there's been twice in our business that we've fallen for the idea of being able to rapidly grow or expand the company based on partnering with this company or this person. And both times they promised us, faster money, more exposure, opportunities that you'd never get, gear, blah, 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 blah. In both times it never happened. In both times it turned out the second the ink hit the paper, you saw their true colors. They are liars. They are thieves. So I'm not saying we'll never partner again. There's some really good people that we've been working with for a long time now that want to partner with us, and it's possible that we do. Now, fingers crossed, nothing happens in the future where they screw us over, but
it's still hard.
Yeah.
Partnerships are difficult. They are hard.
Absolutely.
But if you watch Shark Tank and stuff, businesses don't grow fast. There's no such thing as an overnight success. That takes 5 to 10 years. It's a process, and it's like raising a kid. Your kid doesn't go from 0 to 16 overnight. It doesn't happen. So it's be careful. Partnerships are hard. They can be good, and I hope everybody has a great partnership relationship with when they do a partnership. But just remember that they're in it for them, and they should be. So make sure you get out of it what you need over what they need. Don't let them crush you on the way for them to go up, and then you're kind of left in the dust.
Yeah, make sure, it's mutually beneficial. Very rarely is someone going to be all about you. Now, if you're getting an investor, it's only in their best interest that you succeed. If this is a monetary thing where, they have some say or no say, but it's all about the capital and getting a percentage of your company, sure, okay. But if there's strings attached beyond that, that's when you need to be worried. It's just, for us personally as a small business, we've yet to run into a business partnership that has done anything but really try to either screw us over, take us over, bury us, take credit for our work. It's pretty crazy. And it physically ails you. She doesn't care. She gets up and
I care very much.
Right.
I don't take it internally, the stress.
It doesn't hurt her as much as it does me. Me, I just either go into destructive mode, like Hulk mode, where I just want to start smashing things, or I end up, just sitting curled up in the corner going, what the heck am I doing with my life? For me, a corporate gig would have been way, way easier, although I hate working for other people.
And also, keep this in mind. Do not let someone pressure you or threaten you into a partnership.
Yes.
Do not let somebody say,
Yeah.
well, if I don't partner with you, I'm going to partner with somebody else. That is a huge red flag.
Yeah.
Then go ahead and partner with that other person, because it's not worth it for you.
Yeah, I wish we had a flux capacitor and go back in time, because this is from our past. Someone said, look, if I don't do it with you, I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to partner with someone, but basically I'm going to put you out of business. So it only benefits you to get on this train or get run over by it. When that's said by a very charismatic, narcissistic person, you fall for it. However, it's not true. It wasn't true. It didn't become true. And we ended up getting hurt in the process. Now, we're fine. Things are good now. We've got battle scars, and we're better people for it. But, that's basically, we were like coerced into almost mob style into trying to do this partnership. And it was brutal. And it's not just us. I have several friends who've run into this situation where it's like, similar businesses or, someone sees what you're doing. Like I have a friend who runs a real estate business, a real estate photography business, and a friend of his is just like, well, I'm just going to start doing this new thing now. Not coming out right and saying a little more passive aggressive, but basically saying like, you can buy me out, you can shut me up, you can absorb me, you can work for me, whatever. It's just a real interesting way of doing business, I think. So don't fall for it. Trust your gut. It doesn't matter if you say no. It's okay to say no. If you're not 100% emphatic about it, don't do it. If you have even 1% doubt, do not do it. Believe in yourself.
Yeah, believe in yourself. That's good.
So what's next?
All right, so our next, leading right from these wonderfully awesome 2 topics to staying the course. And this is all about believing in your company, believing what you're doing, and keeping going no matter what. Mm-hmm. Especially right now for us, there's a lot of noise in our industry. A lot of companies doing or trying to do similar things to what we're doing. Mm-hmm. And that's how it always is. And that's good for the consumer. That's a good thing. But don't let it discourage you as far as, well, this company just came up and they're doing a subpar product, but maybe I just can't do this anymore. It just keep going. We're seeing that a lot now. There's a lot of middle ground companies that are coming up into this universe, and it's hard. It makes you feel, well, should we be doing this? Should we stay doing this? Should we be doing something completely different because of all of this noise that's happening? And we just keep going and keep moving forward and trying to better ourselves and better the company and just build something that we're really proud of.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a bunch of people coming up out of nowhere, it seems, with very little experience, just doing this kind of stuff that we're doing. And this is not unique to our industry. It's every industry. Everybody wants to run a coffee shop or whatever. And that's fine. Everyone has the right and opportunity to. And the people who are legitimately trying to do something, that's good for consumers. Lowers prices, keeps people competitive. That's great. There's just a lot of people making knockoff products that are really cheap, and customers get burned by that. Therefore, if you go to product X before you come to us, you don't necessarily trust us, and we get a lot of these distrusting people because they've been burned by the time they get to us. That's not okay. There's a lot of people out there making subpar products, and they're not just small people. They're not just small companies. There are big companies who are looking at what we're doing or what somebody like us is doing and going, oh, well, I can do that too. And they put out a really garbage product at a low rate, wrong format, and they start using things like professionally curated. And they start taking things straight off of our page. It's like, I'll do a Google search for a copy on our page, and it takes me to someone else's site, and it's word for word. I'm like, good gracious. At least, bust out a thesaurus or something, for crying out loud. But yeah, marketing hype is just that. It's just marketing hype. If you're persuaded by a few words on a piece of paper, then, that's good on you. But for me, it's all about the product. I don't really care about the website. I don't care about anything but the actual product. And make sure that you're buying from someone who actually cares about what they do. I slave over this stuff. I sweat, I cry, I bleed. I've been doing this stuff for 20 years. I spent the majority of my career in Hollywood working on all kinds of TV shows and movies, real ones, not some of these fake ones that that your parents come to the premiere. I'm talking about legitimate films and TV shows for years and years and years, getting my butt kicked from one director to the next, really honing my craft. And my mentors worked on Star Wars, the original Star Wars. They taught me everything I know, and our core philosophy is based on what they taught me. Everything we do starts in camera. You'll be hard-pressed to find somebody with the same story, but buy from a company that you trust. Buy from a company that will actually listen to you and talk to you. It doesn't have to be us. That's fine. Makes me a little bit sad. Why don't you write me and tell me why you don't like me, and I'll see if I can figure out a way to make it work for you. But the point is, there's a bunch of places that throw up a goofy website, that they get off some template page, they throw up a really terrible video that shows you nothing, and they slap on a price because they just look at all the places around, or look at us and just slap a price on it and think you're going to buy. These people are just nipping at your heels. Now, if you're experiencing some kind of thing similar to this in your business, stay the course. It doesn't matter. Keep focused. Bruce Lee says, be liquid, and that's the absolute truth. When things come your way, instead of letting it hit you and crumble, dodge and weave, baby. Just make it happen. Just if you feel that it's time to change the course of what you're doing, do that. Don't cry about it. Cry about it later. Just be as fluid as you possibly can and just keep moving forward. It doesn't matter what anybody else in our industry does when it comes to Rampant. We're always going to do what we do. And that's it. It doesn't matter. We have all these people going, oh, did you see what so-and-so is doing? Oh my gosh, I can't believe what they're doing. I don't care what they're doing. I don't have that kind of time.
That's true.
I'm working, people. I have to pay somebody or wait for somebody to tell me what's going on. I ain't looking at you. I ain't got no time for that. And see, either to Steph, on top of everything we're doing, we're adding another show to our mix. I don't care what whoever's doing. It doesn't matter to me. We're still doing what we're doing. We're still loved and supported by our community, and we love and support our community. So it doesn't matter to us. It doesn't matter. And the same should be for your business. I don't care if Frank over there is literally copying everything you do. Your customers are going to love you because of you, right? And you just keep the customers that you love. The ones that are loyal to Frank and they don't know you, well, they might start saying bad things. We've got people who are loyal to other people who've never talked to us, who've never seen our product. Based on what they're saying, it's just ludicrous. But they think by somehow kissing the butt of brand X, they're going to somehow endear themselves to them or whatever. They feel like they're a part of that thing. Great. We have the same. We've got diehard Rampant fans that we sometimes have to be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's all right. Take a breath. We're going to be okay, So
yeah,
just stay the course.
Yep.
Just be positive. Doesn't matter if life kicks you in the junk, just get up and keep on walking. You put that on a t-shirt. So what's next?
All right, so that's our topics for today. Now we're going to talk about questions. Thank you all for all of your questions.
Oh, yes.
We actually had questions. It was pretty exciting.
Lots of them.
So here we go to the first question. The first question comes from productionworld.net. And productionworld.net is asking us a bunch of questions. So I'm going to sort of break it down so we can talk about each one sort of individually. So the first one is, my question for next episode is this. You guys are in many ways a standalone VFX shop, just with a specific product set. You also balance a ton of other projects such as this blog, Rampant Live, and other social and in-person commitments. So my first question is, how often do you get hit up for consulting work? I'm guessing all the time, considering your VFX pedigree and proven talent. So how often do you get hit up for consulting work?
Well, thank you for your kind words. First of all, yes. That's very nice. A lot. And it's usually last minute, or they're like, oh, let's get Rampant on this, or let's get Sean on this. It happens all the time. Sometimes we say yes, sometimes we say no based on the turnaround. We had somebody who's working on this really cool project who said, look, it needs to be done tomorrow or in the week, and we really want your stuff. And sometimes they'll try to goad you into it, like, well, we just bought this Rampant library, and you're the best person to utilize it. The guys in our group, they're good, but we really want your flair on it. And that's fine, and that's awesome. It just all depends on time and resources. Sometimes people are asking us to do stuff that's just the CFO says, I'm sorry, there's other things that are important. It's all about structuring the importance of projects. We try to never say no outright.
Right.
But when you call us, when you've had 6 weeks to do the project and you call us when it's due tomorrow, probably we can't help you. So, but it happens more than you think. Some old clients, some new clients. We try to do real world work just to keep things fresh and fun. It's also great to travel with the Red and experiment and do fun things for people. We do a lot of stuff for private libraries that you'll never see. Sometimes we're allowed to remake those things for our Rampant library. Quite often for the bigger companies, like the ones that have cruise ships and theme parks, they're like, no bueno. That's whatever we make for them is for them and for them for life. So, which is fine.
Yeah, that's good. All right, so the second question is, how does the business shift gears to handle new projects? I mean, some projects require use of a red epic, and dozens of lights. Gosh,
Lice. We're doing lice effects
right now.
Bugs, man.
Dozens of lights, or explosions, or paint. And I wasn't a hazmat suit. It's very true. And are specifically for profit, where other projects might take the same amount of time, use the same gear, but be for a web show. God, I cannot talk today.
It's all right.
Do you see it all as part of the same mission? Is there a hierarchy in staging projects? Am I just rambling at this point? LOL. I'm just interested as you run an amazing home-based business that does more than most mid to large-scale shops producing effects and other wizardry. Thank you for the kind words. That's so nice.
So nice.
So we're talking about
how we structure.
how we structure our projects.
There is no product or project that takes priority. We have, in terms of products, and projects, we have a whiteboard, a massive whiteboard that Stephanie built for me. And then I just throw out crazy ideas. And then we talk about it. I'll do some research, I'll do some tests, and I'll be like, Steph, I'm going to need blah number of dollars to produce this, or I'm going to need some time or whatever. And she'll say yes or no. She'll say, well, we'll put that on the back burner. That's fine, right? But it really, nothing takes priority unless it's like cost prohibitive. If it's the next thing that I want to do, then we'll do it. Yeah. But if it's expensive, then the answer is no. I ask for stuff all the time.
We are still a small company, so if if there's a project that we're working on or for a product and it costs, X amount of money, I have to look at the budget and say, well, we can't do that right now. So let's look at the board again and see what else we can do. So we're always moving forward, but what else can we do that doesn't cost as much? We'll have this money on this month. Let's schedule it for July. We'll put it on the table for July because we'll have the income for that. So, we're not a big company. We don't have money just pouring in. We have to really budget and take into account our finances because the company has to keep going while we're making this new stuff. So yeah, nothing gets, there's not a priority over, we want to do it all. Yeah. I wish we could do it all right now, but it's, things cost money and we have to take that into consideration.
And obviously the web shows and stuff don't cost us any money. It's just time. And in terms of time, there are 3 8-hour shifts that are usable in every single day. It's all about priority in your life. We're reading lots of books and watching lots of videos from other entrepreneurs. And we're personally lucky enough to have some really great entrepreneurs like Dave Balsuto from iOgrapher, who constantly mentoring us. I mean, he doesn't owe us anything. The fact that I can call him up or text him whenever and we can talk, or the fact that, like, for example, on Stephanie's birthday, he sent a FaceTime video, and his son sang Stephanie happy birthday, and that was pretty freaking amazing. So, that kind of thing is really beneficial to us, and we use those things to help us understand what we should be doing. Yep. We could be playing video games. We could be going to theme parks. We could be just saying screw it and sitting on the couch. That doesn't help us get to where we want to go. So it's really about sacrifice. For the short term, and by short term I mean like 6 to 10 years, we are giving up a lot of our free time and a lot of our availability to do things that we want. Now, there's a lot of excuses out there. People try to use everything from income, family, whatever. Everything is an excuse. If you really want something, you'll find a way to make it happen. That's it. It doesn't matter. I've worked 2 jobs. It doesn't matter what the excuse is. We're always told, well, you don't have kids, so you're not gonna. I would be able to do all this or more if I didn't have kids. Well, that's not true for us. We'd figure out a way. We're weird that way, though. I'd have a kid. If I was at a trade show, I'd have my kid right here on one of those baby harness things, and he's walking around high-fiving people, making deals. It doesn't matter to me, or get a sitter or daycare. You do what you got to do. You'll figure it out. I can't tell you what I would do until I'm actually there. So it doesn't matter to me what's going on. I mean, when the power's out, I'm sketching ideas on paper. If the camera's gone out, our red camera's blown up more times than it's not, and so when it's gone, I'm coming up with ideas. I'm doing stuff in the box. We're talking about things we want to do. There's always new stuff, and that brings me up to our next. Well, we're going back to these questions, but real quick, we're adding another show.
We'll talk about that at the end.
We'll talk about that at the end, but I'm just saying that we're always finding new things to do. I'm not going to talk any more about it, but I'm just saying, bear with me, lady. Come on now. We're talking about finding ways to fit things in. We're doing even more. And she's doing so many more products, and I'm doing more products, and we're adding another show to the mix in addition to this show. And there's other projects we can't talk about yet that we're going to do. And we're doing stuff for third party people. We're partnering with, not partnering, but we're creating content for other people, right? Yeah. So there's as much availability as you want there to be. If you're finding yourself excuses, and you're coming at us with excuses, you're actually asking us for permission to not do that. It's really what it is. When I have friends call me up and go, well, I could do that, but you're just asking me to go, yeah, sure, that's fine. I don't care what you do. I'm busy doing what I'm doing. I prefer that you do what you do to pursue your dreams. But, if it was easy, we'd all be doing it, I think. So it's not easy, but it's worth it.
That's true. All right. So thank you, productionworld.net. Thank you for the questions. Those were great.
P-dubs.
All right, our next question is from AV Films. And his question is, what is the best thing in running a small company like yours, Rampant Design?
For me, it's not working for any jerks anymore. And I'm talking about the majority of the bosses I've worked for are misogynists, racists, jerks, self-involved narcissists who, when they finally figure out what I can do for them, they're like, I'm like their shiny new red fire truck that they want to play with. And they extort the living nonsense out of me. I can't tell you. There's not been a boss. I think there's like 1 or 2 bosses I've ever worked for who actually respected me. The rest of them all treated me like garbage. I'm just another employee. Just get your butt to work. 80 hours a week. Actually, I worked for a very big corporation once, working on some high-profile films and TV shows. I made the mistake of saying hello to an executive in an elevator once, and he looked up at me like, kind of like, why are you looking at me? And he said, I don't talk to my money. And then I very quickly understood where I was in the pecking order. I was just literally saying good morning. So, yeah, I don't like working for people. It drives me crazy when I'm sitting there working 100 hours a week and you roll up in your, $130,000 car talking about how tough life is, and you just redid your kitchen, and you have to go to France again this week, and my private jet smells. I don't like that nonsense, and none of that's an exaggeration. All those things that I just said were actually said to me. So yeah, for me personally, I absolutely hate working for other people as an employee. So I will work 3,000 hours at Rampant in 1 week to avoid working 40 hours for some jerk.
That's good. Well, I really like. I love working with Sean. We have a good.
She's been paid to say that.
We have a good working relationship. But you know what I really love about doing what we do is all the problem solving that we get to do. It's just every single day's a new puzzle, and I love puzzles. So it's just like this never ending puzzle that, okay, we'll go to bed and what's tomorrow going to bring? And so I really enjoy being able to figure that out and figure out how to. Really, the biggest puzzle is how do we keep the company going forward? Mm-hmm. And every single day, it really is like a puzzle. Like you're trying those pieces and they're not fitting. And why aren't they fitting? Well, they seem like they fit, but they don't really fit. So you have to start again and take them out and restart. So it's just kind of it's a crazy adventure that we're doing. And stop. We're doing a crazy. This company is sort of just a really cool feeling to know that we're providing for ourselves. Nobody's in control of that. Nobody can say, I used to be a teacher and I was an art teacher, so every year the budget comes up and the first thing that needs to go are the fine arts. So it's like every year I'm fighting for my job, every year I'm doing whatever I can. Doesn't matter what kind of responses or my test scores or anything for my kids, none of that mattered. It was, well, we don't have the money, so you're out. I am so thankful that I don't have that looming over my head anymore, based on productivity and...
Well, that we financed your classroom every year.
Yeah, teaching.
We spent so much money.
Support your teachers.
Yeah,
it was just
absolutely.
Teacher Appreciation Week. Support your teachers. They're awesome.
But we spent
it's a hard
thousands
job.
of dollars on supplies for her kids that, we didn't get any money for that. And
No.
it was expected, too. It was really kind of strange.
But that's so the problem solving and then being able to control our destiny is huge.
That's the best. That really is the best.
It is the best. We are.
You can reap what you sow. That's really a truth statement. If you do nothing, nothing will happen. It's so the thought is if you do a lot of things will happen. Now it's like farming though. It takes a while, and some crops will grow big, some crops won't grow at all. But that's exactly what you said is correct. Is just the other best thing, the real best thing, the not so snarky best thing for me is I get to work with Stephanie every day, and she really is the other half of Rampant. She's everything that I'm not, and that's what makes this such a great company and just a fun place to work. Is because I'm like 3 shades of crazy. I'm a few sandwiches short of a picnic. Elevator doesn't go all the way to the top. Whatever. I'm very passionate, I'm very emotional, and I like to get my hands dirty, but you know what I don't like to do? All that other crap. I just don't like to do it. I love to just work. I have crazy ideas that people stare at me about. I'll be in meetings, and I'll just throw out an idea for their company, and they'll look at me like I'm speaking Latin. And then, it turns out that another company did the exact same thing I just said, and they're looking at me like, how did you know that? I really just think abstractly. I'm not a very logical person. I like to just paint and create and do social media, but Stephanie truly does puzzles. She does puzzles for fun, which I find, I look at that and I'm like, that's work, but she absolutely loves it. So we're really a great partnership, and she's unbelievable. So the next person who calls up and insults her, I just want to squeeze her till your head pops off, like that. So she's amazing. She's Final Cut Steph. I am married to her, but she's not my wife. That's not why she's here. It's so crazy. Try to separate our personal relationship a little bit from the fact that she's vital to this company. I'm interchangeable. You can find some other schmo to run a camera, but you can't find another Final Cut Steph.
Yay. All right, and that's it. Thanks, AV Films, for your question. That was great. Before we go, I'm sorry this was a little bit of a long episode this week. I want to tell you, Rampant Live starts on Tuesday.
Which is,
Tuesday.
Every Tuesday and Thursday, 9 p.m.
Tuesday and Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
EST.
We will be live
Seriously live.
Seriously live.
And it's not this show.
No, it's not like this.
We're not rambling on. We're talking.
So we will have guests. We'll have special guests every single week from the video profession who do video, everything from freelancers to all the way up to major motion pictures. I mean, we got
motion pictures, visual
we got
effects,
a
episodic.
huge list of people.
All kinds of people.
Tune in every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. If you miss it at 9, we actually are going to post it on YouTube. We will have an entire playlist of just so you can catch it later.
You can catch all that at rampantlive.com.
It's rampantlive.com. We will also have a podcast version of it too. So if you want to listen in your car or wherever you listen to podcasts.
But try to come live because you can ask questions. This is a
question and answer
show.
thing. So Tuesday and Thursday at 9, go to blab.im/rampant design. You'll see there'll be a link down here, and of course it'll be across the whole thing. There you'll see it.
But Rampant Live.
Blab.im allows you to actually participate in the conversation, and it'll be really fun. It's just real talk, really casual. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a drink. We have fun.
Well, only with certain people. Some people are like, "Well, can I bring a drink on the show?" I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Strangely enough, they're from like UK and Ireland. I love that. I'm living in the wrong country. It's all real talk. There's no agenda. I know
live.
I know there are talk shows out there in the industry. And it's like, so let's tell us about your product.
Don't
no,
be like that.
Blah. It's real talk with real people. We're starting out with our friends because that's who we know, and then we're going to expand. If you want to be on the show, somewhere on rampantlive.com is a way where you can ask to be on the show, and we'll schedule you. And by the way, who do you think is doing all the scheduling for the show? This guy? No, her. So. Give her a little credit, people.
You can email me, and I will put you on the schedule, and it'll be really cool. We're really excited. It's going to be live. Blab.im/rampant design. Check us out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Our first guest is going to be...
Kes Akalano, the NLE Ninja. One of my
NLE Ninja.
favorite people on the planet. If you don't know Kes, I don't know what you're doing with your life. He's just the most amazing person on the planet. Yes. Kes is awesome. Can't wait to talk to him. Love him like a brother. I wish we saw him more often. Every year I try to get him to come to NAB. So
you'll learn all about freelancing in Chicago, which
is very cool. But so Blab is not any kind of special software. It's just a funny name. Go to blab.im, and if you don't have a Blab account, it works in your browser. So sign up with Twitter, and you're good to go. Yep. Or Facebook, I believe they now have added. But it works in your browser, so you'll see all of us talking in real time. You'll have a chat window. If you've never done Blab before, it's freaking
really
amazing.
Fun. It's fun.
And the great thing is you're going to ask questions. We're going to talk. And it's just real casual. It's just like hanging out at a cocktail party, basically. And it's live. So she might be using dirty words.
It's live.
It's Rampant After Dark. No idea what this sailor is going to be saying.
It's live. Woo!
So anyway, always, thank you for your questions. Please keep sending your questions in. The show is not nearly as entertaining without your questions. Thank you for everyone loading us up with questions from last episode, or when we asked for questions and we didn't have any. Always go to runningrampant.biz for the show.
.biz.
You can find our show on Vimeo, on YouTube, on runningrampant.biz. You can also find the audio version, the podcast version on what? On SoundCloud, iTunes and Stitcher. So tell your friends, let people know. Otherwise, it's just us talking to our cats, and that's cool too.
Yeah, we like our cats.
They don't give us a lot of questions.
But tune in on Tuesday, 9 p.m.
Yep.
Don't miss it.
Rampant Live. Rampant Live.
Rampant Live.
And if you can't make it, obviously check out the
check out the replay.
The replay stream. So that's it, folks. Thank you so much for everything. We love each and every one of you, and thank you for all your comments, both publicly and privately. I know there's a lot of people who make statements that they don't want promoted, but we thank you for them. We always like, oh, that's really nice.
Yeah.
And they're like, don't put this on the show. Okay, we won't. I'm talking to you. All right, so thanks, everybody. We love each and every one of you, and keep running rampant, y'all.
Run rampant. Bye.
In 3, 2. Sneaky. He's like, I want to be on the show. Oh, man. In 3, 2.
Velociraptor at the door.
Velociraptors.